Hey guys, it's CholyVlog, and today is, today is a little bit of a difficult day, actually. This was supposed to be, or I had intended it on being a whole series, actually a 2-day series. I didn't talk to you guys about this in a lot of detail. I might have mentioned it in a Friday Freebies video, but who remembers that? My good friend Liz, or just Liz, as I've mentioned to you guys, she's here in New York on blogging events, blogging assignments, and she came in yesterday, and I was supposed to accompany her on a couple of things. And today as well, there is a big thing going on that I didn't talk about. I didn't specify about it in videos. I didn't want to like reveal everything before it happened. And there's reasons for that. So yesterday she came in. If you follow her on Facebook or Instagram, she was posting pictures about, you know, being stuck in flash floods, and she had a very long trip. And when she did finally get here, somewhere in the vicinity of like 10 in the morning, her hotel room wasn't ready, so she had to do a lot of waiting, but that's neither here nor there. On this end of it, I was supposed to meet up with Liz in the city, and we were supposed to attend a beauty event together, and then we were supposed to go and do a restaurant review. Well, from beginning to end, yesterday was just a horrible day for me. Just mind-wise. It's one thing when you're looking forward to something and you really cannot wait for that day, and that day comes and you're so on your guard because you're worried about things going wrong. Well, anything that could go wrong went wrong. And it wasn't like a terrible catastrophe, God forbid, or anybody got sick or anything like that. It wasn't like that at all. So it wasn't like, you know, just mind-blowing horrible. But I don't really elaborate a lot in videos about my personal things when it comes to struggles I have. I mean, I've talked about issues and things of that nature, but I won't go into what it's like for me. So yesterday was sort of like a crash for me, a crash and burn. It started, I don't like to go into details about certain things that have been going on, but I'm pretty certain at this point what's the difference. So you guys have known that I have had a falling out, I guess, or a continual thing with a friend of mine that, you know, everybody knows. I don't have to mention names. I'm pretty sure that they know who I'm talking about. And it's been sort of just like, you know, keeping distances and just keeping things status quo, just kind of leaving things alone. You know, I have reservations about the whole thing, and I'm not going to get into it on this video. But yesterday, there was like a tail end left over of a previous conversation that I was having with this person, and her text messages started to show up, and that's started a whole like litany of a back and forth again. And that furthered whatever, you know, already anxiety I had, that furthered it more, and not necessarily because it was, you know, whatever. I'm not getting into details, but I'm just at a point where I'm really not looking to fight anymore. I'm really not looking to have hash outs or you did that, did this, the other thing. And it seems to continuously do that. And it's always like repetitively the same conversation over and over, when it's like, okay, I get it, you know. Don't have to keep repeating the same thing over and over. And on my end of it, you know, once I get caught into that, then I start questioning again. I start questioning my own, you know, decisions, and questioning my own, like, is this happening again for a reason? You know, and I don't like doing that. I don't like questioning when I've come to a term, or when I've come to like a decision. It's like I really just want to stay in that, because obviously it's for the betterment of my health and my head and the way I function. And this just tested that, you know. On from there. So I was supposed to meet Liz, as I said to you guys, and I was supposed to, there was this service that she had mentioned to me, and she had said she was using, and she was going to be sending a car called Uber. And it's an app that you put on your cell phone that through the GPS or Wi-Fi, they find out where you are that way. And you just insert a destination of where you're going, and they send a driver if they're in the, your specific area. So they have it for all major cities, New York City, okay, included. So, because there was a specific time and a specific place to be that I couldn't take the train, because the train would have taken at least an hour and a half, and that would have put us back time-wise, and plus the way everything was going on, it wasn't planned out to be that way. It was planned out that I was going to be picked up. So anyway, I tried to download this app to my phone. It downloaded, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't open up. I kept getting a 403 error, which was frustrating. Apparently Google Store, the Play Store was down yesterday, so any app was just not working properly. I tried it on my computer, but the only thing it would allow me to do is just update my profile, that kind of thing. So Joe contacted me, and I lost it. I was pretty much already, on my way of just losing it, because I was so upset that I couldn't get this to work, and I wanted to, get out as soon as possible, because I really wanted to get to this event and meet Liz and all that. And, I'm crying and I'm screaming, and I'm just having a really hard time with everything. And, he tried it on his phone. He got into my account, and he was able to set up the driver. So I was kind of calm about this. And at this point, I had also called Chris, because I was so upset. And Chris happened to be with a friend of his, so he offered to come pick me up. Because, by the way, the driver wouldn't come to my home, but he would come 7 minutes away from where my house is. Yeah. So I got a ride there with Chris and his friend. They, were nice enough to do that. They left me at this destination. It was a firehouse. The guy called me on my cell phone on the way there. It was a 7-minute ride. And he's like, oh, are you 19 something? And this is now it's a firehouse. There's no number or address. I'm like, no, we told you what the street was and, where it was. And he's like, oh yeah, I know where that is. So we got there, and he was already parked there. So that didn't make any sense to me. So I got out, I said goodbye to Chris and his friend, and I walked over to this guy who, when he rolled down his window, I could tell right away was not somebody you can be friendly with. It was just not, I can't explain it. You just know when you know. That's the thing with me. I kind of can tell when I meet somebody. So anyway, I get in, and he says to me, so where are you going? Like that. And when you set up the service, you already type in the destination, so they should have known that already, but I gave him the address that was on my ticket, and he starts sitting there like this for a good 20 to 30 seconds, just doing this over and over. And finally, he looks up, he goes, I don't drive into the city. Now I'm mind blown. You could have seen fireworks jumping out of my head. What? What do you mean you don't drive to the city? That's what I said. I don't drive into the city. I said, when my friend set this up, he put oh, no. There was no destination. It was blank, which is bullshit, because what driver's going to show up not knowing where his destination is? So I'm now freaking out at this point, because now I'm really not getting, everything in the stars and in the universe did not want me to get to the city to see Liz. They just didn't want it. I get out of the car. I literally just was like, are you kidding me? And he's like, no, I'm not kidding you. And I wasn't in the position or mood to argue. I was like, well, I'm reporting you. And I slammed the door, and I got out of the car, and I just started bawling my eyes out, and I called Chris. Luckily, he was about not even 2 minutes away, and they turned around and they came back to pick me up. And then they just came back and stayed with me for a while. So, and that was it. It was just, and then Liz had a hard time, trying to get to her hotel, and she had sort of a similar experience with Uber, where she couldn't get a driver, or I don't know what happened. I'm sure she'll come out with a vlog or something to explain her side of it. And it's just everything that could go wrong just went wrong, and it just put me in a really, really bad place, because I was so looking forward to this, so looking forward to seeing my friends, so looking forward to these events and things that don't normally happen for me. And it just, and then today, currently right now, I'm supposed to be leaving soon to be going to another event that is a big deal, and seeing Liz. And I've got to tell you that I'm just so upset and just so like, I had like a breakdown on the phone. I pretty much said I didn't want to go. I'm at a paranoid point where I think things are going to go wrong. I'm in the shower. Before I get into the shower, I bend down and my back goes. It's like, I don't know how to explain this feeling of like doom, of everything you do, of everything you're involved in, of everything you're... And I hate this because I don't like telling people, you know, my woes and going through all this, because it's like, oh, come on, Dawn, really, you know, like, and I try not to. And apparently, you know, I'm, you know, vague in certain areas. I'm vague for a reason. Like, it's called protection and privacy. I don't need to go through every little nook and cranny of my life. It's, you know, some things need to be kept to yourself. But this is something that I'm overwhelmed with as far as like my personal dealing with it. My emotions, my depression is, you know, went through the roof, and I had a crash, and I crashed and burned, and I can admit that. So I'm trying to get into the frame of mind, you know, even though I've already talked myself out of today, that it's going to get better, you know, you just... And I don't know how to get there. I'm trying to get there, you know. I'm trying to feel better. I'm trying to, because this is potentially a really nice thing, and somebody's going with me, and it's, you know, I want to see Liz, and I just don't want to have another catastrophe on my hands like I did yesterday. I mean, not saying that everything that happened is like, you know, I don't know. It was one of those coincidental things where just everything just made you feel a certain way, and, you know, I just feel really bad. And so I was supposed to sit and be doing, you know, vlogging as I go, and maybe I still will, you know, and once I'm down where I'm supposed to be, I'll vlog from there. But this was supposed to be like a whole 2-day thing, and it ended up just being a, you know, wah vlog. So I'm going to finish getting ready, or start getting ready, and I'm hoping to report a better day than this, but I just needed to tell you guys where I'm at, and just pray for me that I feel better, or that I snap out of this, whatever it is. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.